During the third millennia, in a strange place known as the United States of America, a war was brewing. Brainwashed Marxist idiots in colleges across the nation clashed with equally brainwashed, anime-obsessed neo-Nazis. Starbucks windows were shattered, Dodge Challengers were totaled, and Muslims realized that rental vans were cheaper than plane tickets. Skinny, anemic millennials from coast to coast were hospitalized with life-changing injuries such as sprains and first-degree burns. And the heroic knights of 4chan rose up to defeat Shia LaBeouf and drive the evil villain into a descent towards a madness the likes from which he would never recover. As the enemies of freedom destroy the cities that raised them, as America begins to resemble an Iron Maiden album come to life, two heroes have risen up to fight against the culture of utter madness and restore sanity the only way they know how, by refusing to take any of it seriously. Mersh.
And I said, hey, oi, let's chop your penis off. Oi, can I have me penis back? Why do you have dreadlocks, you white oppressor?
Royce Lopez.
Always be aborting. A always be aborting. Always be aborting.
Breaking news.
Breaking news,
You're
guys.
hearing it only on our show first. Apparently Donald Trump has worked out a deal. He will get the wall. Unfortunately, it's going to be a rock climbing wall.
Oh, no! The other side's going to be a slide. You climb the wall up and you
was getting
lands into a nice, clean, chlorinated pool. And then you immediately get a welfare check. Fucking A.
Oh, shit. He was a boy, he went to girl, now he wants to be a boy again.
Oh, God, just stay a girl if you're going to be this indecisive.
I think Caitlyn Jenner's a handsome woman with a great penis. Look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with trannies. I just don't want to put that one's cock in my mouth.
Bound forever by their mutual love of smoking marijuana, Simpsons references and affection towards Alex Jones, these two men have joined forces to bring you uncut news and opinions directly from the belly of the beast. Saving Western civilization one childish dick joke at a time, here they are, your new heroes of the Imperium, Mersh and Royce Lopez.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from AJ Benz's couch in Van Nuys, it's everyone's favorite right-wing comedy talk radio program, Revenge of the Cis. Mike Shealy, Royce Lopez, howdy, with you, ready to give you the business. I don't have a fancy intro today. We got so much stuff to get to.
We're in the business of giving you the business.
Of giving you the business.
And business is booming.
We are currently in the process of having our portraits done.
That's correct.
We're going to get our own presidential
I'm trying to get the
portraits
same crayons they use for the Obamas.
Let's get Photoshop.
Look, guys, listen.
Can we break down?
Well, there's there's so many things.
There's so many things wrong.
First off, shout out to Mitch, who made the GIF you saw, the Obama hiding in the bush. There's been a few Homer hiding next to him, but this is the first one I've seen of Obama backing into the bush.
Look, Tasha Rose of Radical Mothering and myself, we got a little bit of a Twitter spat today with one of these trannies. It's like really just a dude with a beard who wears girls' panties and clothes and makeup. That tranny on Twitter was the second most hideous thing I've seen today.
Was it this person?
This fucking guy.
This one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this dude. First of all, okay, I don't like the fucking drawn on George Michael beard. Because that is filled in. You are using some sort of a spray substance from Ronco or something.
To be fair, George Michael had a lot of beards. So
He did have a lot
of beards.
Is dedicated to everyone who believes in a future of peace and freedom.
Anyway, this thing blocked us on Twitter today. Blocked me too. Blocked at Mersh and at ROTC Media. Look, you don't fucking get to go on Twitter and try to act like you're this empowered, whatever the fuck you are. And then you try to, this fucking thing, tried to act like, oh, look at me. Look at how jealous all these cisgenders are. Oh, I love cis tears. And I had to politely point out to this abomination that, yes, we were shedding tears. They were tears of hilarity. At no point was I crying and thinking, oh, God, it's the end of... No, I looked at you and I laughed. I laughed at you, stupid.
So, speaking of laughing at people... No, it's okay.
Speaking of hilarious and hideous images that'll be burned into your brain forever.
What
a shitty painting.
What a shitty president.
You don't understand, even on a smaller level.
Yeah.
If you're a middle class person, you decide, you know what, for this year, I want to get a family portrait done. If that was what you got,
okay, hold on.
you'd be furious.
You're right. I have seen those Sears family photos from the 90s that look better than this. That was probably commissioned for millions, I'm sure. This is not something. A couple things here. Number one, let's start with Michelle. Before we get to Barry, let's start with Michelle.
Oh, my God, that's supposed to be Michelle?
That's the point. Does it even look like her?
No.
It looks nothing. It
looks like Kelly Rowland.
There you go.
That's what it looks like.
It looks more like Kelly Rowland.
Looks like Kelly Rowland.
Of
not Michelle Obama.
Destiny's Child.
Yes, and of Kelly Rowland fame.
Yes.
But mostly Destiny's Child.
Which Kelly Rowland fame was Destiny's Child, and that song she did with Nelly.
First of all, you never dressed that glamorously.
No.
First of all. Second of all, much fatter arms in real life.
Yes. Now moving over to Barry.
She's got arms like fucking tugboat in real life.
But I'm funny because we didn't even talk about this before the show. I said the same thing when I saw it. I go, that looks nothing like her. That looks nothing like her.
That is a much prettier woman.
So now I'm over to Barry's.
Oh boy.
Which to me, this one.
Why didn't, first of all, he should have gotten the background with the lasers like you got in the yearbook. You would have really won over millennials with that, with the lasers.
So,
can somebody Photoshop the lasers behind them?
Let's break this down. You ready to break this down? If you're listening via podcast, just pull up Obama's portrait, break it down with us. Here we go. Start with a couple things.
Well, can I start with the glaringly obvious one that nobody pointed out till I pointed it out?
Can I try to guess before you do?
There.
I want to try to guess to see if it's the same thing that I think. Because there's one that a lot of people haven't said.
All right.
Is the chair broken?
There's no arm on the other side of it. She's off to the side.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Is the chair broken?
There's no... Look. Look. Royce knows, because I do some... Anything you see on this program that's Photoshopped that's really weak is usually me. And then we have a friend, Mitch, who does the really good stuff.
Right.
Royce knows I'm not very good with perspective and depth perception. I'm terrible at that. Spatial recognition. I've always been retarded at that. I can still tell, though, that there would be no room for him. He wouldn't be able to sit that far over if there was two arms on that. And then the chair's... This looks like the back of a highlights magazine.
Something else that we want to point out. He's sitting in Ivy because of Wrigley Field. From what I read, that's Ivy, Wrigley Field. Problem is, Obama's a White Sox fan. Being serious. He's not a Cubs fan.
Oh, no.
And if you know anything of the White Sox and the Cubs, they hate each other. Kind of like the Yankees and Mets fans hate each other. So, all right, cool. I guess Chicago. Now, Mike, you're the one that sent this to me.
The chair. I'm still stuck on the chair. That's not even.
But it's Photoshop too. The ivy behind him has just been. This is very rudimentary Photoshop stuff. It's copy paste. You basically crop, copy paste. So the ivy behind him isn't. Remember, this is a portrait.
Presidential.
A presidential portrait. Think of the George Washington painting.
Yes.
Like think of that when or Abe Lincoln. Think of that when you think this is what was done here. Clearly it was Photoshop. Now I believe the flowers are native flowers from Kenya, Hawaii, and Chicago. The flowers you see back there. However, they're all just copy pasted and photoshopped over each other. Now, that's just the glaring stuff. Let's move into something else.
This is really bad, man.
Let's move into something else.
It's just so bad. Like it's the kind of thing that the more you look at it, the more you're like, oh, what is going on?
No, something else. It's a presidential portrait, and he's not wearing a tie.
This looks like the kind of presidential portrait you would see like a high schooler do. Like a decent high schooler, and they hung it in the school.
Right.
This is the
this is
yeah, I know. Just try to get through it.
Look, man, I understand that there's a lot of things Trump does that could be made fun of. Absolutely. Be the first one to tell you that, all right? We make fun of him a lot on this show. That being said, this isn't embarrassing to the left. This is not something. There's people defending it. There's a news site. It was one of the news sites. Who, I think CNN. I don't know, one of them. I have to look it up. But said that art, like regarding the Michelle Obama thing. Well, sometimes art's not supposed to look like the person. Yeah, when it's a portrait. If you look up the definition of a portrait, it should look like the thing.
Do you understand? All right, look.
The RoboCop bust they put up in Detroit looks better than this.
There was an artist a long time ago by the name of Gilbert Charles Stewart.
Gilbert Charles Godfrey.
Gilbert Stewart did the portrait for the first 6 American presidents. He was from Rhode Island.
The stuff that's on your money. The picture on your money.
I was going to say, Gilbert Stewart's portrait of George Washington was what they based the fucking $1 bill on.
Correct.
First 6 presidents. We have gone from Gilbert Stewart to this. You understand? If Royce and I asked for a fucking portrait,
I would be
if
pissed.
I would be pissed if I paid somebody on Fiverr for this.
You know what I would? You're right. But you know what I would? Mike would be sitting. If this is the portrait I had gotten, Mike would be sitting in there for 2 hours on hold, going, "These motherfuckers! Can you fucking believe this? I paid, and of course it was donated and all that. I mean, and money wasn't really money wasn't exchanged, but it shouldn't have been. This is ridiculous. And is it even a painting? It looks like an Archer episode. Tell me that doesn't look like Archer animation.
That's actually an insult to the hardworking people at Archer.
That's a good point. They don't use as much
They
Photoshop.
actually do a beautiful show. Like visually, it's a very pleasant show.
But you understand this? This looks like this fucking portrait was made in Flash animation. You know, this looks like an episode of Homestar Runner.
You made this in Photoshop. You sent this off to a former motherfucking 2-term president of the United States, and you thought this was acceptable. How dare you? And I don't think Obama, because Obama's been catching a lot of shit. Look, he didn't paint the fucking thing, okay, first of all. Secondly, I'm pretty sure Obama's not happy with this painting.
You're right. I don't think he is.
He's a great faker. For 8 years he proved what a good faker he was.
Washington Post, a surprising influence on Obama's portrait, Abraham Lincoln. The artist used Abraham Lincoln as inspiration.
But what were you painting Abraham Lincoln? Did you put a top hat on him?
That would be cool. Then this honestly, that one little change would turn this entire portrait around if he had a stovetop.
Why couldn't somebody in the past 8 years look at Obama and be inspired by John Wilkes Booth?
That's not cool.
Joke! I'm fucking joking around. It's a comedy show. Having a couple laughs.
Ken Hind Wiley's spectacular new portrait of Barack Obama
Spectacular.
speaks to the resolute seriousness of the former president. At the same time, it radiated a sparkling freshness. How exactly can one picture accomplish that? By dividing it into two complementary parts, both of which are deeply grounded in art history.
You might as well have just had that tranny performance artist show up with her piss jugs. Remember that bitch? It would have been a better reflection of your presidency.
Want to see a real portrait?
That's a fucking presidential portrait. Mm-hmm. And that poor lanky bastard probably had to sit there with his hand on his chin for 4 days while they made that.
This painting, the only place it should be displayed is on someone's refrigerator because their kid drew it in class.
If that was hanging in some sort of a hipster vegan restaurant that you're like taking your chick out to on a Sunday afternoon, fine. That would look fine. Like,
Right.
Yeah, cute, do whatever. This is a fucking embarrassment. You have now Obama has managed to, like, everything they accused Trump of, Obama did. He has ruined and taken the status of president down so many levels in every category. He's made every element of being president embarrassing.
Somebody said to your joke earlier, it wouldn't work because Obama doesn't really go to theater. Speaking of, real quick, because before we move on, boy, have we been getting a lot of shit for our Black Panther episode. That episode, things have been happening. Do you know that the thumbnail changed for no reason?
No, I changed it.
Why?
Because I've been going back and manually cleaning up our videos and fixing the titlings. And it's a slow project that I'm undertaking.
Okay.
That was me.
The comments, however, were not you.
Those were not me.
They were people, first off, that didn't even hear our entire talk about Black Panther. Let's start with that. And we're just going about, us joking about it.
Yeah, dude. Do you know how many people... I legitimately read a comment the other day. How is this movie racist? And we were like, we never... What? Huh?
Nobody said.
Nobody ever said...
We never said it was racist.
People literally... Do you know how many completely inane, ridiculous comments we get on our videos where I can tell these people did not even make it through the theme song and they already started yelling at us?
It's
Get a grip on
immediate, and they. All right. Speaking of Black Panther, I brought that up because I want to preface it.
Speaking of the blacks,
Panthers, IO9 from IO9. Marvel misses another easy opportunity for LGBTQ representation with Black Panther.
when was this article written?
Yesterday,
What time?
3:40 p.m.
All right, so technically
on the West Coast.
on the West Coast, I said this yesterday as a fucking joke.
Yep.
I said it as a joke yesterday at the opening of the show.
I remember. Listen to it, by the way. He did.
And I knew it was gonna happen. Deep down in my heart, I knew somebody was gonna complain. I fucking knew it.
This is from IO9, the same people that run the AV Club and Katu. But basically,
I'm tired of being right.
Yeah.
I'm sick of this. I want off this ride.
this from IO9 Gizmodo, but this is all the refugees from Gawker when it went down. If you guys didn't notice, sites like Deadspin, AV Club, Gizmodo, sites that never used to be political, as soon as Gawker died, their writers seeked refuge in these other sites because they were owned by the same people. And a lot of those writers now are making things like movies and video games into just this political warfare, no matter what you do. Now, a couple things. Couple things. This is a picture of Wakanda. Okay. if they're so technologically advanced, why don't they have guns? Why do they still have spears?
Are they like Tesseract spears, though?
No, they're just regular. They're made of vibranium.
They're not Loki spears?
They're made of vibranium, but they're not magical.
All right, but why don't you make vibranium bullets for guns?
And the guns could be made of vibranium, too, if you want. Unbreakable guns.
Remember, you have a cheat code, Wakanda.
Yeah.
You're the only country that has unlimited vibranium. You're literally... the fucking storyline that created your country is a cheat code. But anyway, no, that's good.
Ta-Nehisi Coates, Roxane Gay, and Yana Harvey's most recent runs on Black Panther and World of Wakanda.
Like, at least fucking Thor, they're all using old weapons, but then all the shit is magical, you know? Like, everything shoots a laser or fucking magic or lightning or some shit.
What they're saying in the current comic books, there's two characters that are lesbians together, and they're lovers who play a pivotal role in this is in the comics, and occurs at a time of Wakanda society is on the brink of collapse. Given the amount of screen time given to the squad warrior of women in Ryan Coogler's Black Panther, one of the biggest questions about the film has been whether it would incorporate any elements of the sexuality or even the idea of a queer woman. That's not the biggest question. You are trying to make it a big question. This is the first time I've heard anybody, and by the way, there's a lot of people criticize us with the Black Panther thing that we did. First time I've seen anybody mention this, because here's the thing. Again, comic book nerd here. Yeah, that might be going on now, but see, if you're making Black Panther and it's an origin story, you're going to probably start in a time where that didn't happen and maybe try to develop a character instead of just like, we need gay black people too. When is it enough? Is it ever enough?
No.
Because let's say they were gay. There would be another complaint. Well, yeah, but there's only lesbians. How come there wasn't any gay men? Why wasn't there any transgendered Black Panthers?
Because, look, say what you want.
They couldn't get Magic Johnson's son?
No, because say what you want about Africa. I understand.
And I do.
I understand as a continent, the nations and people of Africa, they've got their problems. But you know what they don't have? They don't have less than 5% of their population wearing makeup and keeping their penises and demanding that the whole country talk about and insert them into everything. They don't have that there.
It's
God bless them.
So it's for this movie. Let's talk about Africa for a second.
There's two things they don't have in Africa: trannies and condoms.
And Wakanda. So it's 3. Because that's not a place. So the greatest country in the greatest country in the African continent is Wakanda, made up one. The greatest song about Africa is by a white band, Toto. The greatest movie about Africa so far is The Lion King. Only one person was black that did the voice in that movie. So you want me now to not only go watch this movie and go, it's awesome because it's black, because there's black people, but at the same time, I have to also be angry that there's not gay people. Got it. Did you write all that down? Did you write it down?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I don't care.
Oh, okay. He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
I
gonna
don't
try
care.
that.
Keep fucking eating each other.
In the rough cut of this Black Panther scene, we see Gurias and Okayi and Kazumba Aya swaying, man, these African names, swaying rhythmically back and forth with the rest of their team.
You're right. It's so terrible. Fucking. How do you even get to T'Challa and Chakala and Kakala and my people? At least, you know what I mean? At least say what you want about Thor. Thor and Odin and Loki.
Remember when comic books, this is from the comic book.
Of course.
Remember when comic books used to be about, for kids, shooting lasers and superpowers and the good guy always wins. Now these kids are buying this comic book and they have to watch some African women with what's up with the haircuts, by the way.
This? What is this, Living Single, the comic book?
It's fucking crazy. No, because there was no gay people in Living Single at the time.
Yeah, there was.
Who?
The one was pretty dykey. It was
But
like
her
two
character
pretty
dated,
dykey characters.
but they all dated guys.
Yeah, kind of, but it was kind of...
I watched Black Friends. I think Queen Latifah's gay now. I'm not sure. However, and I'm going to say something, to be honest with you. The costuming's pretty good. It looks cool. It doesn't look bad.
It looks all right. Like, it looks like a good movie.
Exactly.
You guys fucking drew a line in the sand now, and now I'm going to nitpick every single thing in this movie. Not out of spite, not because I'm anti-SJW, but because me and Royce watch comic book movies and I fucking nitpick them. It's something I've done since the beginning of time. Since the fucking first Captain America and Iron Man movies, I was like, yeah, I like that. I didn't like this so much.
Right. Look, I also remember one of the funniest things that I've ever done was watch Batman versus Superman with Mike, because it was, at one point it started with normal criticism, but by the middle of the movie, he was just screaming at the television.
I was violently angry at that film.
Yeah.
And there was not a black person to be found in that film. Mm-hmm. It's not a race thing.
No, it was a bad movie.
Not only was it a bad movie, but they did the same, to a lesser extent, they did a similar thing with that movie, where DC kept going, nah, man, this is the fucking one, man. This is Batman versus Superman. And then they delivered it. It was like, ugh, you motherfuckers. Does that mean I hate all people from Krypton and I want to send them to concentration camps? No.
I do.
No.
I do.
But I don't think it was a good movie, and I don't think I'm going to get from beginning to end of Black Panther and not have a couple of, complaints, a couple of criticisms.
And you should be allowed to, man. And look, the things that we've been accused of is we're fragile. Our fragile whiteness. Yes. I've heard that a few times now, that my fragile whiteness is showing. I'm from fucking Hialeah. I don't have fragile whiteness. My problem is that I want to be able to criticize this movie, and I should be able to go to Rotten Tomatoes and get an honest review of the film. There's no way you're going to tell me, and I haven't seen it, but come on, man, it's a comic book movie. It's still, at 96%, I believe, as of today? It's 96%. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. All right? Enough.
It's...
And by the way, I still want it to be good.
Yeah, but I'm going to have valid criticisms as I watch the film.
Correct.
For one, too many blacks. Two, Africa, well, why are we in Africa? Let's go back to, New York somewhere. Blow up something that matters. Something where the stakes are high.
Also,
I just love how they had to make up a country in your shit continent that is up to Western standards. Literally, if you look at the movie, it's always in the title cards when they move to locations. It's always like New York, London, Brussels, Wakanda. Fuck out of here.
oh, fuck.
Couldn't even have like Lagos, Nigeria, nothing. No, Wakanda. Fucking embarrassing.
Oh.
So I guess we'll get some hate on this video too today.
Fuck them. I don't care.
Dawn, I'm over it. I'm trying to please you people.
Yeah, you fucking assholes.
Seriously. Outside of the people listening now and the people that like the show, look, there is a large group of people, and it's growing every week, and I am grateful for you guys. Outside of that,
my people.
Outside of our own sycophants and our own circle of friends and confidants, the rest of you can get fucked. Care?
Oh man, and I think people that don't like a review of Black Panther aren't our core audience anyway.
My people, my people. When my father died, I have to save my people. That's the whole movie.
If somebody,
spoiler alert.
I'm calling this right now, Mike. I want you to witness this. I want everyone to witness this. The first thing I want to happen the moment there's scenes that come online, and they always do, of fight scenes from that movie, is somebody better edit them and have somebody yelling "World Star" every time they're fighting. That's our thing. I'm not gonna do the work. Someone do the work for me, but please do that.
Listen, and also, make a drinking game of it. It's just like I just said, all right? Mm-hmm. My people and my father is going to be said in that film so many times. I want you to play. You can't really play a drinking game unless you go to a nice movie theater where they serve booze. But if you go to a regular movie theater, right, just sneak in a little bit of cocaine. Do that. Do a bump every time he says one of those things, and you'll literally die.
I'm also worried because we watched the Avengers Infinity Wars trailer, and it looks really cool. However, the worst part of the trailer was when Black Panther goes, "A cling!" with his little paws.
It's like, seriously.
I'm like, what are you doing? Come on, man.
Like there was a focus group, and they were like, look, what if Wolverine was an African-American and also a faggot? Kitty claws. Like, at least fucking...
You just showed the God of Thunder, and then you're going to show Kitty Claus?
At least Wolverine has fucking spurs that come out of his fucking... And they come out of his fists, and they fucking hurt him. They're excruciating every time he does it. There's a fucking point to Wolverine.
Oh, fuck.
Wolverine can cut open the top of a fucking bus with his claws and save people. My people.
My people.
My people. How many times it says it in that movie? I want to know.
Please, everyone keep scoring.
Somebody keep one of those little, like a bouncer has at the nightclub, like a little clicker. Every time they click. Sorry, we're over capacity on the my peoples.
Speaking of my people, Trump pitches plan to replace food stamps with boxes. With food boxes.
With just boxes. You
boxes.
can let him eat boxes.
Now, you can't send him to Wakanda because Black Panther would just hide in them like every cat does.
Good. I hope they're empty. They're empty boxes.
The Trump administration is proposing to save billions in the coming years by... First off, hey, you want to save billions? How about pass a spending bill that doesn't put us another $4 trillion worth of debt? How about do that? You fucking supposed to be Republicans. Act like it.
He's working on it.
Is he, though?
They're working on it.
No, they're not. They're not working on it.
I think this is when the reality of the fact that we can't at this point. There's
we can.
Even a fiscally responsible person's like, Jesus
No,
Christ.
we can, but you have to have balls. We can by reforming Social Security and Medicaid, which is 60% of our budget.
But all right, well, here's my prediction for that. I believe that these things will happen. I believe these things will happen if and when we get a second term. That's all that shit you want is the kind of shit a lame duck president does when he wins that second term and he's like, I don't care. Slash it. I'm seriously, realistically. He's not going to do it in his first term because then he's got to run against the fucking Democrats who are like, you cut taxes, but everybody's dying now.
He talks
fucking hysterical baby.
He talks to us.
Fucking stupid Leaf will be on TV going, oh, the president doxed me.
Well, since these are food boxes, you're going to be hearing like, he boxed us. He boxed us.
By the way, you guys need to get fucking boxes. You know why? Because I've been working in fucking stores and places all for years. You motherfuckers buy Doritos and fucking soda
Mountain Dew.
and fucking you buy all this bullshit and then you can buy your fucking scratch-off tickets with your money that you make off the books. Fuck you people. No more fucking Doritos. No more fucking all this bullshit that you Dude, they eat like shit, bro.
And you would think Democrats would love this because they're all about the healthier eating. If you do food boxes, you send people chicken, steak, like Blue Apron. That's basically what he's thinking of, like Blue Apron.
You can buy ice cream on food stamps. That shit needs to stop.
The Trump administration is proposing to save billions in the coming years by giving low-income families a box of government-picked, non-perishable foods every month instead of food stamps.
I hope it's fucking covered in pesticides.
White House OMB Director Mike Mulvaney on Monday hailed the idea as one that kept up with the modern era, calling it a Blue Apron, that's what I said, type program. A nod to the high-end meal kit delivery company that had one of the worst stock debuts in 2017 and has struggled to hold on to customers. Yeah, but see, they're a business. Customers might like them or don't like them. When it's EBT, if they want to live, they need to eat the food. Mulvaney said the administration plan will not only save the government money, but also provide people with more nutritious foods that they have now. That's true. Because then you could at least give... Again, I'm a libertarian, dude. People should be able to do whatever they want with their money. But when you're using my money, then we should kind of have a say of what's going to be done with it, right?
Yeah, it should be exactly. It should be slashed. If a program like this will save money without hurting people, and don't give me that shit. The only thing this is going to hurt, and you're going to hear the Democrats bitching about this in a couple months, it hurts their dignity that they have to arrive at these offices.
If they had dignity, they wouldn't be getting EBT cards.
But the dignity of my constituents. They're underprivileged.
My people.
My people. What happens? He's my people. My father and my people. Fucking bunch of...
If Nancy Pelosi keeps going down, by next year, she's going to be talking like that.
Do you understand that if all of us were actually legitimately covered in actual ticks, like disease-ridden, blood-sucking ticks physically on all of our bodies in this country, that Democrats would advocate for the ticks if they could get the voting rights.
Ticks.
They would.
You're right. The proposal buried in the White House fiscal 2009 budget would replace about half of the money in most families receive via the Supplement Nutritional Assistance Program, also known as SNAP.
Let them eat each other. That's what I say.
The package would be made of 100% U.S. grown and produced foods. That's cool. And would include items like shelf-stable milk, peanut butter, canned fruits, and meats, and cereal.
Yeah, things you need to sustain yourself.
What's wrong with that?
The basics. And that's the problem, too, man. It's these fucking people. And this is not a cultural issue. This isn't a race issue. I've known so many pieces of garbage, white trash in my life that are just as guilty of this. There is a fucking certain segment of society that are so used to public housing, so used to WIC, so used to all this public benefits that they don't care anymore. They have no desire to live outside of that. They get their free food, whatever, and they will complain. They will have the balls to complain that they won't get a card and money for them anymore, that they can go spend like everybody else. It's going to hurt my dignity. You don't deserve to have dignity. People who work to get out of those situations deserve to fucking have dignity. And hopefully someday some people will work their way out of it and not need those programs. And you know what? Those people will feel a sense of accomplishment, and they'll feel good about themselves, because then they will have dignity. And they'll go, I don't have to do this anymore. All of these things should be designed for you to not want to be on it. We've made everything so easy for you.
But America's Harvest Box, which the USDA contends would save over $129 billion, is not very comparable to startup meal delivery companies like Blue Apron. For one, the Trump administration proposal doesn't include fresh items like produce or meat, which, okay, but you know what people don't buy with EBT cards? Produce or meat.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, you fucking useless pieces of shit, you know what you can get for absolutely free if you put some work in? Fucking produce, you assholes.
Yeah.
We live in one of the breadbaskets of the world. Okay, I get it. Some certain places, fine, maybe. But for the most part, unless you live in fucking New Mexico, you can go outside and grow some tomatoes. You lazy sacks of shit. Turn off fucking Steve Wilkos for a little while. Turn off the fucking TV. Go outside and tend your vegetable garden for a half hour a day.
Asked about how delivery would work, USDA spokesman clarified that the states would have flexibility in how they choose to distribute the food to SNAP recipients. That means if Puerto Rico gets it, they'll just keep all of it. In other words, the federal government almost certainly would not be picking up the tab for any type of Amazon-style delivery system. The project saving does not include shipping door-to-door to our recipients. That's fine, but you could do an Amazon locker system where every town has a place where they go and pick it up.
Or a shipping center.
Yeah, a shipping center. Super simple.
Well, how do we get there? You make sure that you get the shipping center located right where there is a nice bus station, where there's a nice depot where all the buses from town kind of go into. I know Tampa's a great example of a place where everything around the major bus terminal is a shithole. They could easily just get a warehouse over there, bing, bang, boom. But no, it's too much. It's too much for you guys. It's too much work to get on a bus and go pick up your free food.
It's free. It's free still. Listen, man. I understand that people hit tough times, but these programs are made to sustain you while you get the original reason for these programs is to sustain you while you work your way back up, while you could build yourself back up so you don't starve, so your children don't starve.
I had a better idea.
Okay.
How about this? Why don't we switch the program up? I like this idea that Trump's doing. Blue Apron style program. But we're going to flip the script. Enlisted servicemen and people that are actually in the military, they'll get boxes of food that are U.S. made. And you poor fucks will get MREs. How about that?
Ooh, I like that.
You want to talk about suffering and indignity and being disgusted with what you have to eat? The guys getting fucking RPGs lobbed at them on a regular basis by ISIS are the ones that have to eat fucking gross jerky and this horrible, these crunchy peanut butter. It's horrendous.
Yes.
I ate an MRE once as a joke because we were around. Like, all right, I'll try it. Fucking horrendous. So let's send them boxes of fucking, at least, do you know how much they would kill for some Chef Boyardee?
Oh my God, yeah, they would.
Double stuffed raviolis. They'd go ape shit. Marines would be like, what? I'll eat them cold. I don't give a fuck. And they'd be grateful for it. You fucking, this makes me so mad.
Yeah. So apparently that makes him a racist now.
Do you know how excited an Army Ranger team or a MARSOC Marine team would be to get a block of that horrible government cheese that we all know and love? God. If they got a box, they'd be like, nigga, we're making fucking, everybody be eating cheese sandwiches that night. Oh, yeah. So don't give me this shit. The indignity of having to go pick up my food. Oh, really? Really? Go fuck yourself.
Go pick up your food. Trump opposes eliminating federal funding for PBS and NPR. President Trump's newly proposed budget includes a proposal to end federal funding to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Good. Hey, guess what, PBS? Even Sesame Street jumped ship and went to HBO. You want to know why? Because they want to make money. You want to know something else? NPR doesn't need funding. NPR has the 3 biggest podcasts money-making wise on iTunes and anywhere else. They have the Serial podcast, they have More Perfect, and they have Radiolab. Those things make a lot of money. And when you listen to the episodes, brought to you by Goldman Sachs. So you guys have plenty of money.
And you ask for money all the time.
But yeah, you guys have more subscribers and make more money than Joe Rogan does. And if you're going to tell me that that's not enough to sustain your thing, guess what? Too bad.
I'd rather the government subsidize Joe Rogan's show.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
And I just want to say that On It is a fine regimen of products. If you are trying to get in shape, their kettlebells are second to none.
The Trump proposed eliminating federal funding for NPR. President Trump's it would be part of a package that includes $300 billion in new spending overall. CPB, Center for Public Broadcasting, provides federal funding for PBS and national public radio stations. By the way, you fucking NPR have been talking so much shit on Trump. Why in the world do you think he's going to feel bad about cutting it? If you guys were impartial, seriously, let's put everything aside for a second. If you guys were just an impartial news organization, you would stand a better chance. But you guys put all your eggs in the fucking Democrat fucking bucket. And by the way, have you ever listened to NPR? They have 1 or 2 shows that are informative, honestly. But the rest are just jazz jam sessions.
Yeah,
it really is. Some guy whispering about trees. Like, it's not, the internet exists. I could go to YouTube and find any information I want. Kids can too. Kids aren't being plopped in front of the TV anymore. They're being given a phone or an iPad. Someone has an old phone that doesn't work anymore, but they connect it to Wi-Fi, and they go, here you go. And the kids look at that. Every session. By the way,
we'll be listening to cool jazz today, and then, of course, we'll be meeting with a student from Portland, Oregon, who likes to have sex with birdhouses. It's all coming up on NPR.
It's just, fuck you.
That's what it is. This local college student is fighting Trump the only way he knows how, by violating birdhouses with his genitals. What?
You know, it's like, I fuck them because I'm showing him how he's fucking us.
Coming up next, we'll have a trans woman with a beard and a performance artist who saved all her piss jugs. Coming up on NPR.
You know, the jugs are starting to ferment now, and they're becoming more like piss wine. To conduct an orderly transition away from the federal funding, the budget requires $15.5 million in 2019 and $15 million in 2020, which would include funding for personal costs of $16.2 million rental costs. Hey, can somebody figure out how much Charlie Rose was getting paid by our tax dollars, please? Because that's the other thing.
Yeah, somebody find out how much Charlie Bathrobe Rose was fucking.
Yeah, like, fucking, how dare you?
Piece of shit.
You want all of us, you want the people that statistically, my people, that statistically make the most money to fund the thing that hates on them the most. Are you fucking nuts?
It's, dude, you know, honestly, you know what would happen? If they cut every dime of federal funding for PBS and NPR tomorrow, 5 years from now, they'd still be there. They'd be fine. Would they have a little less extra money? Yeah, probably. But
They'll
they would
have
not
more.
Wouldn't disappear. They
They
wouldn't go
would
anywhere.
have more because then all the liberals and leftists would come and donate money to them.
Yeah, just like Planned Parenthood. They get to sell baby parts on one side, and then every time Mike Pence is coming after the fucking make it rain, bitches.
Get your baby parts here. So, yeah, fuck that shit.
This break was brought to you by Goldman Sachs. Make sure you invest today.
God, it's just the hypocrisy. San Francisco to open nation's first heroin injection sites. San Francisco.
Of course.
The San Francisco Department of Public Health has unanimously...
Apparently, the San Francisco treat is now AIDS. It's no longer rice roni. Oh God! You know what they should seriously do in San Francisco if you really want to combat the drug issue is you tie all these fucking degenerate junkies down onto the train the cable car tracks and you just run over them.
The San Francisco Department of Public Health has unanimously endorsed a task force recommendation to open what could be the nation's first legal safe injection sites aimed at curbing the opioid epidemic. This is going to help the opioid epidemic. This is going to help.
Because you know what? Nothing helps somebody kick a nasty habit than creating more safety nets for their dangerous behavior and enabling it. Good work.
But enough about Pizzagate. The facilities provide a safe space where people can consume previously obtained drugs such as heroin, fentanyl, under the supervision of staff trained to respond to the event of overdose or other medical emergencies. They also provide counseling and referrals to social and health services.
Why?
So, tax dollars are going to be paid so medical staff can come, because they have to be trained medically, to respond in the event of overdose. That means they have that drug that they give for fentanyl overdose now, and you know what?
Narcan.
Yeah, Narcan. Sorry, I forgot the name. Which all is going to be paid for. You wonder why California is fucking broke? Although the often controversial facilities are not an ideal solution, they are a necessity in the light of the skyrocketing number of deaths by
No. You know what the solution is? The solution is the skyrocketing number of deaths.
In the United States, according to San Francisco Mayor Mark Farrell. I understand that the misgivings around it and some of the rhetoric from people who don't support it, Farrell said this week, but we absolutely need to give it a try. More than 63,000 people in the U.S. died from drug overdoses in 2016, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. More than the number of Americans killed in the Vietnam War. At this rate, over 500,000 people will die from overdose in the U.S. in the next 10 years. By the way, you know what would help that? Fixing Medicaid. Because you want to know where they get opioid, all these drugs, how easy it is to get, especially in Florida. Look, I'll tell you Florida specifically because we have a really high rate of elderly. It is really easy to get any pills you want. Any pills you want, super cheap. I'm really excited, said Lauren Thomas, California State Director for the Nonprofit Drug Policy Alliance. I've been working on this particular issue for over a decade. There are an estimated 22,000 intravenous drug users in San Francisco alone.
You know why? Because you
coddle them?
Yeah, you coddle them. You've incubated their behavior. You've created a terrarium for fucking junkies and degenerates. Who the fuck doesn't want to live in a nice, sunny Northern California where they got legal shoot-up centers and a bunch of fucking retarded, out-of-touch liberals coddling you and giving you free food and money?
Also illegal to kick the homeless drug addicts who live there out from the tents by the beautiful beaches. In addition to saving lives, the facilities are projected to save the city approximately $3.5 million a year in overdose-related medical costs, according to Rachel Kagan.
No, do you know what saves more money than any other approach? Again, I'll say it, the actual overdose deaths. That saves us significant resources.
The operators of the two facilities will be chosen from a list of 6 to 8 nonprofit organizations that currently operate needle exchanges and other. By the way, I don't mind needle exchanges. Needle exchanges don't bother me, like when you have that, because it does lower the fucking AIDS thing and all that stuff. I get it. However, there's a big difference between needle exchanges And because again, people think that we're these fucking neocons, like nothing, no, we understand. There's some programs that are valid.
Yeah, needle exchanges is not coddling or encouraging that behavior.
No. It's just helping stop the spread of a disease.
Yeah, a disgusting, horrendous disease
Correct.
that we need to wipe out. So
Yeah.
that's fine. But now you're giving them a nice air-conditioned room to go hang out
With
in.
medical staff to do your drugs safely. In Australia, a safe injection site in Sydney managed 3,426 overdose-related events without a single fatality over a period of 9 years.
How isn't this against federal law?
Well, because I'll tell you, without looking into it, I would think that the amount of drugs that are being used, if it's a small, they're not selling drugs in there. They're just not enforcing local laws. There's no federal laws being broken with drugs unless it's over a certain amount, like felonious amount of drugs. That would be my guess, is why it's not breaking federal law. The same way that you could have a pot shop in California, but it's federally illegal.
This is fucking disgusting. California needs to lose its funding, every penny of it.
California needs to lose its stateship, in my opinion, and I mean that legitimately, because as much as they fucking hate everybody over here, or everyone that's not in California,
and they're always threatening to leave anyway. You might as well treat it like a shitty girlfriend. I'll leave. Okay, that's fine.
bye,
Well, I mean, no, but I'll leave like right now.
bye.
I'm not kidding.
I know.
I'm not kidding. I will leave you.
I am packing your bags right now.
No, you didn't.
They're right there.
Yeah, but
The Uber's on its way.
once I leave,
I'll pay for the Uber.
I'm not coming back.
I get it. Can you wait outside, though? His name's Hector. He's going to be here in 5 minutes.
He's driving a gray Ford Taurus. Can't
Bye.
miss it.
Bye. See you later, California. Bye.
You have no bargaining chip. You have nothing.
You import your water. You import everything.
Yeah. Do you know what? You know what Alaska? Like if Alaska said, "Look, we need $90 billion this year. We really need help. We rarely ask for it. We need some help this year." You can look at Alaska. You can look at their population.
Correct.
You can look at the balance, the national resources. Do a geological survey and go, "Yes, Alaska.
yes.
You've passed. You are worth it. Stamp. Here's your money. Hope you fix whatever problems you're working on over there." California, you got what do you got? Hollywood? Ooh, the kid fucking factory.
even
that spirit cooking and fucking talking down to us with their billions. Oh, great. Bye.
Even the resources that California does have, we can't use because of the overregulation in that state. So it doesn't even matter. Even if they had gold mines, if they had a vibranium mine underneath Oakland, we wouldn't be able to access it.
You are worse than Wakanda. Yeah. Because Wakanda would actually get their shit together, at least enough to build a mine. Also, how do you mine vibranium?
Carefully, Mike, with kitty claws.
I mean, with what substance is... Because, like, with diamond, you have to use other diamond.
I don't know. Adamantium.
Is that harder than vibranium? I guess because vibranium vibrates, right?
I
So
guess. It's a good name.
Probably softer. Is it like an aluminium?
No. First off, it's aluminum. Don't pronounce it that way.
Is it aluminium?
Don't do that. Please. It bothers me.
Does it really?
Yeah, because people say that when they want to try to be smart.
No, I know. That's why I did it on purpose.
Aluminium.
It's like a fancy aluminium,
It's fucking terrible.
It's like a
Can you imagine if
sexual
Captain America's shield is made out of aluminum? It would break immediately.
It's like just like one of those trash can lids, like from an old hardcore match.
Oh, Thanos just turns it into a swan, like they give you the go.
Thanos feels bad for me. Turns it into an actual vibranium shield.
Here you go, man.
Here, Jesus, man. I'll give you a gimme.
It's fucking embarrassing, dude.
You're out here with nothing, brother. It's like seeing a kid walking to school in the cold with no gloves on. You're like, I'm gonna buy his kid some gloves.
Exactly.
Your parents don't get you gloves.
Oh God.
Why doesn't? Here's what I don't get. Right. I know this is off topic. I know because we're about to go to break.
Yeah, it's okay.
Right? But we were so obsessed with Black Panther and the Avengers lately. How come? Right, because I mean, Captain America is a badass. Mm-hmm. Fucking, Banner's kind of cool, whatever. Yeah. Thor is a badass. Why didn't Tony Stark make suits for everybody?
Tony Stark, much like Elon Musk, relies on a huge government subsidies.
Okay, that's fair. But I'm just like, wouldn't everybody be better in an Iron Man suit?
Especially Hawkeye.
Like,
He doesn't have powers.
for a Hawkeye, make him a suit.
How about a helmet?
Make him a cute, teeny, tiny little Jeremy Renner-sized Iron Man suit.
Even Spider-Man has one that he made for him.
Come on, man. You skip, like, how do you fuck you? Is Tony Stark a pedophile? Think about this. He skips over all his boys. He shows no fucking loyalty. He doesn't make them suits, but he picks up this weird 16-year-old kid, makes him this fancy suit, takes him under his wing.
It's not even he's a pedophile. He does it all because he wants to bang his aunt, which makes it even better. He just wants to bang his aunt.
That's even less loyal, nigga.
It's
Like your boys are all like he just said, Hawkeye, he could catch a fucking piece of shrapnel from one of these battles and die. You can't make
A helmet. Make him a helmet at least. There's something.
and then you can't even tell that your best friend is a brand new guy.
Yeah.
Like that damn never like that's how self-involved you are, Tony.
But he
changes from Terrence Howard into Don Cheadle. You don't even know.
But he made Pepper Potts a suit. He made his other hoe a suit.
I'm starting to think he killed that bitch, and he's just been covering up for it.
Oh, you're right.
He's got some fucking skeletons, bro. I'm telling you.
Iron Man's gonna whatever Stark Industries version of SpaceX is, Stark X. He's gonna send a car on the moon with her body in it.
Why doesn't he make everybody a suit? Because then it would be even because you figure, all right, I'm Captain America, right? Even if I fuck the suit up enough, then finally I get out of the suit. I'm still Captain America.
That's
but
right.
Start with
Good
a
point.
suit.
Yes. It's like a video game. You start with a shield and then a health bar underneath.
Well, what about a giant Hulk suit? That nigga would be unstoppable.
Can you imagine if Hulk had an Iron Man suit? All right.
I don't know where that came
Shill,
from.
because we have a guest and we have to go to break.
Do have to shill. Guys, like, subscribe, you know the deal. Share, get us some new fans. Go out there, be proactive. Recruit us some new people to join the fam. Of course, you can always rate us 5 stars on Roku, iTunes, and Facebook as well. And if you want to kick in a couple of bucks, of course, you can go to patreon.com/We're Not Sorry. Or if you want to do it one time, there's paypal.me/We're Not Sorry. We also have merch. If you look it up on teespring.com, there's all kinds of good Revenge of the Sis swag. And we will be back second hour with Jay Luriel, who will be joining us in the second hour. It's going to be interesting. February is Black History Month, where we celebrate African Americans who have helped to make our nation the global beacon of strength and liberty it is through their significant cultural, economic, or political contributions. Each week, we at Revenge of the Sis will highlight one of these heroes in our Black History Month Spotlight segment. This week, we honor veteran political activist and swamp trainer John Allen Muhammad. Born on New Year's Eve 1960 as John Allen Williams, he was raised by his grandmother during the height of the Civil Rights era in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Serving in the Louisiana National Guard and eventually the United States Army, John also discovered the religion of peace and joined the Nation of Islam and even provided security during the Million Man March. 7 years after leaving the military, he changed his name to John Allen Muhammad, which was an extremely tasteful thing to do 1 month after the largest and most tragic terrorist attack on American soil. Teaming up with his illegal immigrant boy toy, Lee Boyd Malvo, John Muhammad went on to commit one of the most infamous mass shooting sprees in history. For 3 weeks, these two men terrorized Washington, D.C. and the surrounding metro areas. Using a sniper rifle in the trunk of a car as cover, John Muhammad killed 10 people and injured 3 as he and his boy lover Allah Akbar'd their way into America's heart. After his capture and during the subsequent trial, Muhammad revealed that his intention was to extort money from the U.S. government while recruiting his own army of sexy jihadi teenage boys to overthrow the government, and also to bang. After being executed in 2009, it was revealed by his partner that they had killed a dozen additional victims across the U.S. This week, we salute you, John Allen Muhammad. Had you lived just 9 years longer, you would have been regarded as a hero in the current cucked American political climate. What made you a villain a mere decade ago would get you invited to speak at the DNC today. Black Lives Matter would carry you around on their shoulders, and Antifa would find you bisexual soy boys to keep your balls empty for a millennia. We at Revenge of the Cis salute you, John Allen Muhammad, and we thank you for your service.
If you just put in the code ALEX10, and of course, that'll be 10% off from our very already low price of $250 for every 4 caps.
Hey folks, this is Jay Leno, the star of the hit film Collision Course, and I'd like to take a moment out there and talk to you about the very real dangers posed by Zionism in this country.
I was riding around on my motorcycle out there in the Arizona desert when I was kidnapped by a UFO and sexually assaulted by aliens.
Show me how you suck a guy's cock. So last time I'm gonna ask you.
From all of us here at Revenge of the Cis, we'd like to thank each and every one of our friends and fans for helping us become one of the fastest growing breakout shows on the internet. In less than 1 year, we have been able to bring you news before it breaks, as well as the funniest and most consistent political and social commentary around. Here are some ways you can help us continue to grow our brand. Sign up as a contributor by going to patreon.com/We're Not Sorry and pledging a monthly amount. Anyone who pledges $12 or more is eligible for occasional giveaways and prizes. And if you pledge $25 or more, we will promote your brand or product live on our show. We understand if you are unable to commit to a monthly recurring donation, but if you would like to contribute one time, you can do so by going to paypal.me/We're Not Sorry. Another unique way to help our show expand while also promoting your own brand or service is by modeling one of our shirts. Go to teespring.com, search for Revenge of the Cis, and you'll find plenty of options to choose from. Take a picture of you modeling our shirt and email it to revengeofthecis@gmail.com. That is revengeofthecis@gmail.com. Be sure to include a web address or a social media account for whatever you want us to promote, and we will feature you on an episode of our show. Since YouTube is now throttling our traffic and Twitter has us shadow banned, there are many other ways you can help without giving us a dime. Every time you invite a friend to like our Facebook page, retweet or share a meme from our social media accounts, or share one of our videos to your own pages, you are helping us to get discovered by more like-minded individuals who will join our ranks and help us grow. Rate us 5 stars on Facebook, Roku, and iTunes. Encourage others to follow @ROTC Media on Twitter. You can also help ROTC by supporting friends of our show, such as LA Werewolf, Connecting Right Radio, Radical Mothering, Folklore Americana, the Mad American Network, Wolfman's Activism and Entertainment, and the Revolutionary Conservative. Find all of these links and more by going to our brand new website, revengeofthecis.com. The most exciting 2 hours of television is back with an all-new Revenge of the Cis. As Royce and Mersch continue to track an international deep state pedophile ring, their journey to the nation's capital is put on hold as Orlando's best police cops receive a cryptic message from an old colleague.
It's a message from my old partner. He needs to see us in Los Angeles right now. Says it's related to our case.
Do you trust him?
As much as I trust you, partner.
What's to know then? A detour from their original investigation finds these no-nonsense detectives in the middle of Hollywood.
Thanks for meeting me. We can't talk long. They're probably following me.
Who's following you?
The Podesta brothers. They've got eyes everywhere, Lopez.
Now trapped between deep state globalists and the Hollywood elite, Lopez and Mersch are on the case. They're no longer avenging Orlando. They're saving America. And this week, they're taking on Pedowood.
I've been working this case. This Dan Schneider guy, producer at Nickelodeon, he's into kids. Or feet. Or kids' feet.
Yeah, the iCarly guy.
How do you know all this?
Thanks for meeting me.
No problem, Miss Bynes.
This is Amanda Bynes? Jesus, she looks terrible.
Dude, she can hear you.
Watch this week as the web grows bigger, the case becomes more complex, and more older model cars get wrecked and plenty of nameless extras get shot. This week
on an all-new Revenge of the Sis, followed by Nazi Lawyer. USA, hotels don't have Netflix.
Do you like pranks, guns, and jokes about retarded people? Well, so do we, but odds are your liberal snowflake friend doesn't. How would you like an easy, cost-effective way of screwing with that friend anonymously without losing your Twitter account? Guns for Tards is the perfect way to trigger an SJW anonymously through the mail. For a low fee, your target will receive a beautifully designed professional mailer from our fictional Guns for Tards charity, containing a thank you letter for their donation. They'll be led to believe that money was donated in their name to a charity that advocates Second Amendment rights for the mentally handicapped people in their area. For a few extra bucks, they will receive pictures and a detailed profile of a retarded person who they helped harm. It's all fun and games, well, except for that idiot who gets this in their mailbox and freaks out. Messing with someone through the mail is effective. Most people do it trolling over the internet, but regular mail is way more invasive. Whether it's a boss, an ex, or a liberal professor you don't like, this is the perfect way to screw with someone anonymously for the cost of a cup of coffee. Well, a cup of coffee in Manhattan, in a fancy coffee shop. Check out www.gunsfortards.com and select a package today. Use promo code MERSH for 10% off.
Have an opinion you're too afraid to say on Facebook because you might get doxxed? Want CNN to stop knocking out your door asking for your opinion? Call the We're Not Sorry hotline, 407-630-9636. No threats. We will play it on the air. And you know what? Let's keep the racial undertones PG-13. That's 407-630-9636.
All right, Titus, you good to go? Like a middle-aged lady sitting on a dryer at a singing laundromat. Israel! Israel is behind it all. Every Jew got an email that morning.
Fantastic. Moving on.
Milk has an expiration date. We should do that with the elderly. Benghazi! 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 Hillary was there.
Love it, Titus.
Did I pop the P in Hillary murdered Nicole Brown Simpson?
Nope, sounded good in here.
Fluoride! Fluoride! Makes children gay. The Supreme Court wears robes to hide their octopus bodies. The CIA invented AIDS to sell quilts. Barack Hussein Obama, he's a Muslim Jew.
Second hour, Revenge of the Sis. Thank you for joining us. You could always help us keep growing by going to patreon.com/we're not sorry. We do appreciate that. I know a lot of you fast forward through the commercials via podcast. So just reminding you at this part of the break. We have a guest today.
We do have a guest.
If you want to set that up, I'll be happy to get them on.
Certainly. As you know, we have had many members of the West Coast Patriot movement here on the program, and I felt like they were a bit overrepresented. And there's a gentleman who I'm Facebook friends with, Jake Philip Lobriel, who is trying to stir up a little bit of a movement here on the East Coast, and he's joining us live right now. What's going on, Jake?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's going on, man? Did the video thing
Chilling, trying to stir up some necessary trouble.
What happened to the video? I just got this steady cam staring at me right now, just like very angrily.
I don't know, man. I don't know why, but my stuff's been acting up a little bit, so I got to fix that. I've been getting a lot of flack from Antifa still since last fall. I don't know if you know about me getting doxxed and everything after I doxxed a whole bunch of Antifa on 8chan. last year.
Doxing. Now, listen, one
Yeah.
thing we do not condone on this program, we will have nothing to do with people who, and I quote, dox people.
Oh, what did the subversive alt-right tell you that doxing is bad, even if it's to help people?
We see what happened was
I definitely want to. I definitely want to talk about the. I definitely want to talk about the alt-right and all the shit they've been causing in this movement, splintering it from within.
What version Westworld robot are you? Because you glitched there for a second and just stopped.
The piano one.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
fine.
The bartender. So you said you were planning on running for Congress?
Not Congress, but actually Florida governor in 2022, and then for president in 2028.
That's a fucking bold 5-year plan.
Yeah, you
Jesus Christ.
You said yourself. You fast tracked yourself.
Yeah, some people start with like district selectmen, you know, alderman, city councilman. I mean, even the white guy from The Wire had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of corruption on all sides, and it would be too much on the local level. So that's why I want to shoot for governor first.
Just go straight to the top. Skip everybody in line.
because I don't trust. I'll be honest with you guys. I absolutely do not trust any of these candidates running for the gubernatorial election this year in Florida.
Who's running?
Whether they're Republican. Let's see. You got Ron DeSantis.
Mm-hmm.
He's a representative. You've got Adam Putnam. He's the wildlife commissioner. You have Andrew Gillum. He's the mayor of Tallahassee. He's funded heavily by Soros. You got Chris King, another Democratic candidate.
Chris Canyon? I thought he was dead.
The wrestler?
It's just
Who
totally
better than
different-
Canyon?
Totally different Chris King. And you've got Philip Levine. He's the former mayor of Miami Beach.
Philip triple parentheses Levine. We're on it.
Yeah, corrupted gills, as you know. And there
They
are
have
two
gills?
others. I don't really know their names.
like World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay. I thought he was trying to imply.
He's a mage.
I thought he was implying
Jewish magic.
I thought you were
no,
just
he's
trying
a-
to out Paul Nayland and be like,
And
you
that's-
know, these people have gills. They breathe underwater.
Oh, no. No, he would be a dark mage if it's for World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody's a fellow gamer.
Yes, and if we were going by Elder Scrolls rules, he would be the Thalmor.
Oh, I like that.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, what is your... Well, okay, how about this? What are some of the policies you would like to enact as governor of the great Sunshine State of Florida?
Well, for one, we need to enforce all existing laws that outlaw and ban the practice, funding, and promotion of communism and Islam. You don't see Rick Scott doing that. You don't see any of the so-called Republican conservatives even talking about enforcing these laws on the books, and you don't see any of these candidates running for governor, even from the Republican side, talking about enforcing these existing laws that already outlaw communism and Islam.
What laws? Now, I'm unfamiliar with the Florida statutes that allow us to round up Muslims and commies. I am on board. Hear me out, but I want to make sure. Is this on the books? Is this a legit law?
Yeah, I don't recall the exact.
You should probably know that kind of stuff when you run for governor, though. They usually you can't sink younger people. You can't be like Google it.
And are you running as a particular party or as an independent?
Definitely as an independent. I don't want to be part of any political party. Actually, I'm actually against the idea of these different political parties and splintering into these different factions. I'm against that whole thing entirely.
What do you think of bringing the Whig Party back? No one's doing it. You could corner the market.
They already have name recognition.
Yeah, I mean it's already built in fanhood. You know, it's in every history book.
I don't know. I'd rather, I'm actually quite the purist. I don't want there to be any political parties. I want anyone that cares about this country to be able to run for any office and not have to go through all these leaps and bounds and have to go through all these different things, all these different groups, and have to affiliate with a certain political party or group just to be able to run and get a nomination or to just barely have a chance at a primary. We should just strictly have really good candidates with really solid platforms run for basically any political office they want in this country on any level. That's actually what I'm in favor of.
Now, as a native, we're both Floridians, Mersh and I. And I just doxed you. My bad. So anyway, as Floridians,
these goddamn Bulgarian fascists.
We 100% believe in solving all fights with stand your ground laws. However, we think we should incorporate some sort of karate fighting or capoeira.
How do you feel about perhaps maybe even BattleBots rules? Where
Mike,
two men
I
go
love
to a
it.
junkyard
I love it.
and they salvage parts.
I love it.
And then they themselves, whoever builds the best bot, bro.
What about a BattleBot court system for Florida? Comment?
I'd rather see these two candidates or any candidate do the octagon instead of a BattleBot. Because you can kind of hide behind controlling a robot or behind the screen.
The problem then is you
I'd
wouldn't
actually want to see...
you wouldn't have great people in politics like Rand Paul if actual physical fighting was involved.
Yeah, because Rand Paul gets beat up really easily. Like, we saw that. Look, I like Rand Paul, but the guy got beat up by an old neighbor pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, he did.
All right. Now, what do you think about race mixing? For it or again?
I'm for it to an extent. I'm not for it in the sense of this whole thing of diversity, where you make certain races of people feel inferior or that they're still oppressed, that you make other races feel sorry for what their ancestors did. In that sense, I'm not for race mixing, but I'm okay with it. If it's outside of this whole false thing of diversity and inclusiveness and this whole thing with social justice bullshit, then yeah, I would be for it.
All right. Okay.
And how do you feel about President Trump's proposal to move our Israeli embassy to Palm Beach, California? Palm Beach, Florida, rather. I just heard it would be better than Jerusalem. We'd be right there, where they're all at.
We're thinking of moving it where the Rascal House used to be in North Miami Beach, but that place is bumping.
Like basically just south of Boca, but north of Palm.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like on the Broward.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like a Deerfield Beach area? I like that. Look, Israeli embassy would do really good there. There's a lot of Jews, a lot of kosher markets.
We're going to move it to Wilton Manors.
Wilton Manor. Well, no, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. Wilton Manors, it's a little, they don't like that kind of,
Oh God! Don't get me started on Wilton Manors and their bullshit. Don't get me started on that, man.
My favorite gay bar in Wilton Manors, because I used to live down there.
Rumors.
Well, no, that's one of them. But I was the Cubby Hole. And as you know, it was a bear-centric bar.
It was. Sounds like a bear-centric bar.
Bear-centric bar.
They had a bearskin rug on the floor. Don't touch it, though.
Don't touch it. It absorbs. Don't bring any black lights. They're not allowed in there.
Oh my God, bro.
Now I'd like to.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Was about moving the embassy. My issue isn't so much with respecting Israel as a country or as a sovereign nation. My problem with them is through their Mossad and through their corrupt government, how they like to subvert the sovereignty of other nations. Like you see what's happening in places like Egypt and Iran and Syria. Their Mossad, along with our CIA and MI6, is a massive problem. So that's why I have a bit of an ambivalent tone towards Israel and their government and our relationship with them.
Yeah, but we could agree that those people don't tip that well. Can we at least agree on that?
No. They're as a Russian Jew myself, we're either like super nice or like we're total assholes.
Yeah, you just killed like your whole fan base there.
You shouldn't have said that. You can't. This day and age, you can't go out there and say you're a Russian Jew.
It's over now. Paul Nalen's going to be all over your
Paul
ass.
Nalen's going to take you down,
not on Twitter,
bro.
though. He'll be on your not on Twitter. Everywhere else.
I admit it. I'm a Russian agent.
Oh boy, here it is.
I helped back the election.
Paul
I work for the FSB. I'm an agent of Putin.
Wow.
Get it all out there.
Damn, dude.
Paul Nalen is going to lay into you in front of his 1,000 Gab
and
followers.
McCain. And all these other neocons.
But, I agree with you because what we do need is more Jewish people in positions of power. We don't have enough of those.
No, I got to agree with you about McCain, though. Like, I don't like these Vietnam vets, man. They're so smug. You know what I mean?
I love that. Jesus, Mike.
Just like you said.
What the fuck?
I'm with you, Jake. I'm glad you said it.
Yeah. Jake, why did you say you don't give a shit? Jake, why were you quoted as saying, I don't give a shit about these stupid Vietnam vets?
The only Vietnam vet I have an issue with is McCain. As you know, he's working with George Soros. He's working with Bilderberg. He's working with the Trilateral Commission. He's working with these different factions of the Illuminati to destroy this country. And you know how he sold us out to the Viet Cong, these special interests during the Vietnam War. That's why I can't stand him. So he's gonna stand up there in Congress or whatever and lecture us about being good, decent Americans, how we should let the entire world and work for the common good or whatever. That's fucking bullshit. That's all the shit that he's engaged in.
I also don't like McCain.
I can't fucking stand McCain at all.
I also like McCain, but I don't like McCain, but it's mostly because I don't trust anyone who can't put their own shirt on. That's my problem.
So, Jake, will you be running on a pro brain tumor platform or something similar?
That's a good question.
Comment.
He's working on a pro one world government platform.
Now, let me ask you. I want to help Jake out a little bit too, because I've been looking into. We have our own gubernatorial campaign that we're working on, not in the state of Florida. We've got our own coup d'etat going on outside of the state. But I'm learning a lot about campaigning and filing and all this sort of thing. Now, you're probably going to have to get a lot of signatures, right, in order to run for governor.
Is there some sort of signature?
Definitely.
How many do you need? Probably something you should know.
I haven't even looked into that.
You should probably look into that a little bit if you're planning on running. Now, here's what I would do, right, is you're going to get a lot of local signatures, get people on your side. So here's what I recommend you do, right? You go to a Kinko's. You have about 500 to 1,000 fake calling cards made up on sheets of paper. They look real. They'll have like all serial numbers different. They'll look like you could actually have minutes on them, right? Then you go door to door, Miami Gardens, Hialeah area.
Brilliant. Opalaka?
And you just go, look, just sign your signature here, your name, address, whatever, and I'll give you a free calling card. And you can call whatever fucking rat hole you're from and talk to your family, whatever, about, I don't know, fucking paella or whatever, fucking plantains. And then you can do that. And then I guarantee you, boom, overnight, a bunch of signatures. They'll be pissed. They're not going to vote for you when they find out the calling cards are fake. But you're in. You're in to win it. You're welcome. You can keep that one.
Well, there are other things I'd want to do immediately as governor once I would get in. For instance, I'd want to totally scrap Florida State Statute Chapter 790. That's the Florida legislative chapter that basically lists all these different gun restrictions and bans. I would totally scrap that immediately. We've already given these people in our state legislature more than plenty of chances and opportunity to even pass open carry or, to pass this omnibus bill, which would get rid of all gun-free zones that would allow even campus carry. But, of course, we got these fucking rhinos from fucking Miami.
Hey, they're
bombing these bills.
They're not called rhinos. They're called Cubans.
Same shit.
Hey, I'm Cuban. Hey, I'm Cuban there, pal. All right? Hermano?
Hey, dude, you'd be like the only Cuban I'd ever trust because these fake Republicans from Miami that have so much power in our state legislature, they just keep bombing these really good pro-gun bills before they're even brought onto the House floor.
Well,
so I think that whoever the next governor is, or even when I get in as governor, we should totally scrap Chapter 790 entirely, and by executive order, you just implement full-blown constitutional carry, get rid of all gun-free zones, allow campus carry, allow airport carry, and just get rid of all these different restrictions and bans in one fell swoop.
How do you feel about free guns for everybody?
I'm completely in favor with that.
But we got to be consistent across the board. I mean, free guns for literally everybody. Mm-hmm. Felons, convicted pedophiles, everybody.
Babies.
Everybody gets a gun. Equal fucking status, equality.
Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. No amount of gun restrictions or gun control is going to stop bad shit from happening. In fact, the more gun control and the more bans and restrictions you put in place, you only leave good people defenseless. And you see the correlation between the high rise in violent crime across the board. So no amount of no amount of so-called safety or gun control is going to prevent anybody bad from doing anything or prevent any kind of tragedy or accident from occurring.
Okay, so you're for open carrying bazookas and stuff. Like, that's fine. Even rocket launchers, RPGs, like,
Look,
there's no limit.
When the Second Amendment was drafted and ratified, all guns were quote unquote military style. During the American Revolution, all guns were military style. Before the National Firearms Act and all these other messed up gun laws that were put into place, technically, a lot of what we own as civilians is the equivalent or similar to military grade.
Now,
and this whole argument of rhinos and neoliberals and people from all sides saying that, well, like, for example, like when people used to say stuff like, oh, you shouldn't even have an AR-15, it's military style. I mean, motherfucker, the AR-15's not even considered a military issue. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, if you're responsible, you're not out to fuck anyone over, you're not out to harm anybody or do any kind of evil, yeah, why not carry a fucking rocket launcher? I mean, in Texas, they're trying to put in place constitutional carry entirely. They just recently passed knife carry, which gets rid of all the language on the books that would ban even the open carrying of swords. Do you see a high increase of violent crime? No, you actually see violent crime decreasing as you get rid of all these different restrictions and bans on the Second Amendment.
Now, did you?
So I think that if in place,
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I think that in places like our state, Florida, if we were to have full-blown constitutional carry, you would see violent crime in any form drop dramatically. I can give you one example in Orlando. In the mid-'70s, I think it was like 74, 75, there was a huge spike in sexual assault on women. So in response, the city of Orlando and their police department actually started offering free firearm safety courses to teach women to defend themselves with their God-given right to bear arms. And as a result, violent crimes against women dropped dramatically almost immediately.
We can't give them guns, though. They're girls.
So, yeah, women should look. We all agree.
You take a girl to the gun range is fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, girls have little brains, and they shouldn't look. Listen,
look, I have a question now. Trump recently said everything is what you make of it, even yourself. Do you agree with that statement?
Wait, what was that?
I said, well, Trump recently said everything is what you make of it, even yourself. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. That was Joseph Goebbels, actually. Sorry. It's the wrong guy. I got like 4 tabs open. Help me out here with this. You're on this fucking show, too?
Now, okay, I apologize. Now,
stop lobbing softballs.
You recently tweeted that you believe the Holocaust was a lie. Why did you say that?
I never said that.
I was talking to Mersh.
Yeah, no,
I was talking to Mersh.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, no, sorry about that. That was me.
That was him. I get confused.
You know why I said it.
That's funny though.
Is it?
I do believe it. I do believe it happens, but I don't think it was 6 million. I don't. I really don't.
Round it up.
I mean, we've been lied to about everything in our public education system about what exactly happened with the Holocaust and what caused it, what caused World War II, who was pulling the strings of all sides during the Great War.
Yeah,
I don't believe this whole thing of 6 million. I don't believe this whole thing of 6 million.
No, of course not. You know these people. They hand you an invoice. They like to round up.
Sharpen that pencil.
Yeah, bing.
All right, hey man.
Oh, but I do.
No, go ahead.
I also wanted to bring up what's been going on with the alt-right lately.
What's been going on with them? They look like all unified. Everything's all smiles and sunshine. I see a lot of patriotism. I see a lot of people working together for a cause, and that cause is to sell T-shirts.
I mean, certain like quote unquote new right conservative big shots that act all friendly and act like they want to unify, but actually working to silence good people, even those that are rightfully beginning to gain any kind of influence, like people who tend to co-opt the efforts of other patriots.
Well, which ones?
Act as if they're the ones being victimized.
Which ones? Because you got free speech for ISIS Joey Gibson, and then you got stick carrying Fed man, and then you got you got Cernovich and his guerrilla mindset. You got Mike Tokes allegedly writing bad checks. We're on you, Mike. Which one? So many.
You're gonna call. Well, first, I think you should call him debased beer belly instead of basic.
That's a roid belly. I'll have you
That's
know,
a
sir.
roid belly. Yeah, absolutely.
Royd Billy. You definitely got Kyle Chapman, of course. You got Joey Gibson. You've got Mike Totes. You got Laura Loomer. You got Candace Owens. You got Aaron Sith. You got a so-called queen pin, Alyssa Apps. You've got fucking Haley Marie Adams. Can't stand her bitch ass. You've also got Valentina Bankhead. You've got the so-called MAGA girl, Denise Ruiz. Those are like the main people basically causing so much shit and splintering in the California movement.
How did you feel? How do you feel about Cassandra Fairbanks? And did you like her nudes? I thought they were all right.
I didn't even know about that, and
whoops.
They're there.
I do know about how about how she was, and maybe she's still a huge Occupy Anonymous Black Lives Matter. I mean, she was in Ferguson, she was in Baltimore, she was in all that shit. And then for someone like Mike Kukovic, bring her in, make her a rising star of new conservatism. I just find it kind of shady that a lot of all these big shots literally come out of nowhere. They get a platform immediately. They deceive, lie, manipulate, and defraud so many people, even out of their money, their hard-earned money. And it's like they don't even have to fucking earn any kind of respect or platform. They're just they just get it immediately. And then they turn around and use that platform to subvert other good people and to try to take and destroy other people that legitimately deserve a platform.
Now, going back to sorry, go ahead.
So I have no love or respect for any of these so-called big shots that I just named whatsoever.
Going back to what you said about the school system lying to you, Ron Paul once said the victor will never be asked if he told the truth. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I totally agree.
I'm sorry. That was Adolf Hitler that said that.
God damn it. With the tabs, there's a lot of tabs open.
Oh, man.
I don't know what's happening. Now, you had mentioned to me off the air something about a program to round up and gas all the elderly people here in Florida because they're such a burden. Tell me more about that in detail.
I think it was called the Gas and Go Bill.
No. I believe you were going to build the first camp in the villages.
Yeah, the Century Village would have actually a revolving door to some sort of gas chamber where we would systematically...
We'll disguise them as showers. Nobody will notice.
Yeah, they're not going to know. We'll tell them their grandchildren are in there.
It works every time.
Oh.
Hey, Mama.
Hello? Hello? You there, pal?
Do you realize if we were cops right now, we'd have to dispatch an officer there?
Yeah, what's going on? Hello?
He's been doxxed.
Oh, no. Wasn't me. Should we?
To the people in the chat, clearly it's not a dead hooker because she's making noise. Fucking idiots. She's obviously still alive.
Sir?
Barely.
Sir?
I say just let's just go. Let's go. Let's just go. Let's just leave.
All right. Well, thanks for being on.
Okay, yeah, that was. You ever like? All right. You ever like go to your weed guys?
What was that? What happened?
So many
We
mysteries.
were all laughing, having a good time.
Getting a lot of tales. So much mystery. You know what though? That's how you leave. You leave with some mystery, so the people want you back. You know what I mean? Now everybody's gonna go like, "Oh, what happened to the dead hooker?" And then we're gonna find out. Another installment.
I love the chat room. Trelita's like, Ron Paul didn't say that.
You're outing yourself by knowing that.
You knew that too quickly.
Yeah, you can't.
Mike knew it. That's for sure.
Yeah, my eyes started to glare over. Oh,
no.
Boy, he's going this route. Well, look, we just want to get people more acquainted with their potential candidates. People out there that could, better this country. One person at a time.
Frozen Nation says, I don't think that was a very successful interview.
Look. Everybody, it's a stumbling step. Everybody has to, this is a learn as you go type thing. There's no science to running for office. I mean, technically, there's political science, and sociology, there's marketing class. I guess there is. It is a science, I guess, but it's not. Look, not everybody can afford to go to school for those things or to become a litigator. You got to go right to governor. Right to governor. Wow.
They're quoting him, Mike Huckovich and Laura Boomer.
Those are pretty. Oh, I get it now. Like the.
Okay. Everyone relax. Frozen Asia said, I would vote for him if I wasn't in Canada.
I can't do it. I can't. What is happening? I knew it would be fun, though. We had fun.
But what happened at the end there?
Look, I don't know. And I'm saying right now here on Revenge of the Sis that we do not have any legal obligation over what happened. It's not on us.
We have no idea what that was.
We have no connection to any sort of hooker murders that are being alleged in the chat. We will not have that kind of talk.
What the fuck?
It ended so abruptly.
And I got stuff to move on to, but
so weirdly.
But I need to cleanse my palate or something. That was weird. Okay.
So you know what? Listen, I've said a lot of
B.
things.
Dankin says, please clap.
I've said a lot of disparaging things about the West Coast Patriot movement. I want to apologize. Because we too.
We have problems. We're not going to pretend we don't.
We don't have our ducks in a row.
We don't.
A child is escaping.
Can
It's
I
what
tell
somebody wrote in.
We've had, and I'll be honest with you, we've had a lot of good interviews on this show. We really have. But these are my favorite kind of interviews. These are the ones that make me happy at the end. Always.
Oh, yeah. You think I wanted to do fucking 45 minutes with AJ Benza?
Oh, God. Well, we didn't.
But that's what I mean. You think I wanted to have AJ Benza on? Bada bing, so we can talk about the old days. Or would I rather Royce have just gone off on AJ Benza that day? Cut it up into a little clippy clip. Which, by the way, AJ, there are some people that listen. There's an overlap in our audiences. I can say this. Many of the people that listen to you kind of do it as a goof.
Over here.
And they report back to us.
All right.
I'm sure nobody's reporting to AJ about us.
Transgender
You got guys that would hang out with AJ Benson. Look, I heard him say some things, but I'm not a snitch, you know? I can't tell you. Boop, boppity boop, boppity boop.
Transgender pastor has support from community. This is from New York.
Fucking community of degenerates.
A historic ceremony will happen this weekend at a church in New Jersey. A pastor who was born a woman but last year came out as transgender will be renamed Peter. The community at St. Matthew Trinity Lutheran Church could not.
Because of the penis, right?
You could have picked it. You had your fucking pick any
Matthew,
names.
Mark, Luke, and John.
You went with Peter.
Community at St. Matthew Trinity Lutheran Church could not be more supportive.
Of course it's a Lutheran church. You fucking degenerates. Fucking unsanctioned church.
Like Ronnie B. always used to say, those are the people that worship Luther Vandross, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, good.
Eyewitness News reporter Jim Dolan has the story from Hoboken.
Reverend Peter Beeson sometimes has to put the candles out around the altar at St. Matthew Trinity Church in Hoboken. Make no
Hold on a second.
What?
Jake sent us a voicemail. We have to play it, sorry.
Hey guys, I'm being hacked. It's probably Antifa or some Russian hackers that tried to get at me a while back. But my computer is being flooded with viruses and different malware. So that's probably what caused the feed to be cut off so suddenly. And I'm trying to call you guys back, but I can't reach you. I am being attacked big time right now. I'm actually a little bit freaked out about it.
Hacker man. Should I call him back? Because I'll call him back, or we can move on. I kind of feel that just, okay, a chat room.
You were to vote on it.
Vote on it. Do we call Hacker Man back, or do we continue the transgender thing?
Because I don't feel like taking on whatever hackers are messing with. I don't
No,
talk
me
to that
neither.
in
Me
my life.
neither.
I don't need this in my life. Just let them worry about it. Everybody's telling us to call them, but for what? Like, I don't
Real quick, it'll be quick. Let's call in right now. All right, come on. He's not. He's been hacked. He's been hacked, guys. Sorry. I tried. He did not pick up. All right,
Sorry,
well,
guys,
we tried.
Antifa got to him.
Back to what we were talking about.
More supportive. Eyewitness News reporter Jim Dolan has the story from Hoboken.
Reverend Peter Beeson sometimes
go
has
back
to
to
put the
laughing at
candles
this.
out around the altar at St. Matthew Trinity Church in Hoboken.
You fucking
Make no mistake,
abomination.
his whole life is dedicated to lighting the way.
I feel embraced by the cloud of saints.
When Reverend Beeson started as pastor at St. Matthew's, the name
All right,
was
here's the
Reverend...
Could you pause this for a second, right?
Oily skin. Oh, I'm good at pausing.
Can somebody verify if the fucking Lutheran priests do they have to? Oh God, that's a horrible gummy. What a gummy smile. Oh, gums to spare.
She looks like fucking Miley Cyrus's brother, Mikey Cyrus. Fucking cunt.
Can somebody verify if these fucking Lutheran shitty spin-off religion people are
shitty spin-off?
Yeah, no, they're the worst.
Like it's Frasier from Cheers.
All these schisms in the fucking church, in the true Church of God. No, but seriously, can somebody find out if the Lutherans are allowed to marry or fuck or get their fuck on, however it is?
I think they are.
They are. Okay.
I think.
Rose Beeson. There's still a picture of her.
Look, that was her when she was a woman.
You were so normal.
Yeah, she looked like a normal functioning human being.
In the basement of the church. Last summer,
Yeah, they are
Reverend
allowed to get
Beeson
married
came out
and
to the
get their fuck
congregation.
on.
Okay.
So, I don't know, man. This is the problem. One of the problems with your fucking church. You let them get
as
married, get their
transgen-
fuck on, and then now they oh, I gotta get rid of my penis or whatever.
I don't think there's a correlation to getting your fuck on and losing your penis, Mike.
Yeah, because you didn't want getting your fuck on, you wouldn't care as much about being Peter.
Yes, this is New Jersey. This is Hoboken.
It was just months after Donald Trump was elected president.
Of course it was.
What does that have to do?
Because you got to get it in there. You got to get it in there.
Why though? What does that
Thanks
have
a
to
lot,
do?
Trump. You're turning our female priests into men. Thanks a lot, bro.
How's it his fault?
Because racism and xenophobia in this country are on the rise because of Trump's rhetoric.
Both I and this congregation thought it was even more important because of that to be a bold voice that
You're
says,
not all there. You shouldn't be allowed to lead people spiritually. You have a mental illness. You did now. Some would argue the religion is a different mental illness.
Fair.
The point is, you are not in any these people should not be allowed to lead. You don't even know what fucking gender you are.
Christians also believe transgender people are good and created in the image of God.
We call our
Not my God.
Hashtag not my God.
Fuck out of here.
ourselves a radically welcoming congregation, and we really take that.
This looks like, remember Lieutenant Dangle from Reno 911?
Yes.
Like his dad.
Like old. Like he got
or like an old Lieutenant Dan, yeah.
Very seriously.
You know, he kind of looks like Jack Kelly from It's Always Sunny.
Oh, no.
You
Small
thought I had
hands.
small hands, but I in fact have giant hands.
Look, okay, by the way, the wear the priest collar, but then she's wearing this terrible sweater from Old Navy.
Has had a little pushback from inside the church community, but
There are obviously internet trolls and people who do that, and that's going to be true.
Everyone who doesn't approve of my lifestyle and my leadership position in a church is an anonymous internet troll. Hey, look at me, stupid. Mike Shealy, that's my name. I'm fucking not okay with this. I'm not an anonymous internet troll, man. You're fucking gross.
none of that, though, will
Look,
stop.
I'm okay with you being an adult and doing whatever the fuck you want to do. But there are certain places, certain institutions, leadership positions in the church and the military, certain things, you should be excluded. I'm not saying kick you out of the congregation, not saying kick you out of the church, but why is the boy girl, you're going to fucking tell me how I can better my relationship with God? How dare you?
Reverend Beeson. On Sunday, there'll be a ceremony here at St. Matthew's where Reverend Beeson's first name officially changes from Rose to Peter.
Peter?
It's a big day in front of a big crowd. But Reverend Beeson, remember, is a preacher. So for him, it will be just the second most important thing that happens that day.
This Sunday.
No, you want attention. You, instead of devoting your life to... See, the thing is when you...
I guarantee you the attendance was low in the pews.
If you're devoting your life to God, then you shouldn't be selfish and make it about you. You know very well that if you change your gender in a church, you're doing it to be on a newscast.
Of course.
If you were making it about God and not about you, you wouldn't be doing this interview right now, would you? This is about you. Again, you should be able to do whatever you want. However, to imply that you're not selfish, you're being selfish. This is like the same thing that those dads that get up to when they went into their 60s to transition. It's like, that's not fair to your family.
Church.
That's not fair to your family.
Church is not a place anyone goes to make it about them. You're supposed to go there and make it about God and give glory to God and all
Not
that
you.
stuff. Not you and your ego and your fucking penis or not penis or whatever this is. My favorite part too is that he's like, and she'll be coming out to a packed house. And then like he should just add, which will progressively get less and less each week as the gimmick wears off and these people become disillusioned with God.
That happens that day.
This Sunday, we are going to have worship at 10:30.
Yeah,
on
worship
Sunday
to
morning.
you and your decision and your...
You're being selfish.
Fucking
if you wanted to do this and the church is fine with it, that's fine. Do it privately, calmly. Do it fucking on your own.
Seriously. Yeah. If you, by the way, if you want to be a man, you're off to a terrible start.
Correct. You really are.
Guys, I'd like to get everybody gather around. I want to talk about my sexual preference. No guy ever in the history of guys, real guys. You want to be a man? Men don't go to their fucking congregation and go, I want to have a whole meeting about my penis. You fucking degenerate. So angry. So angry today.
Okay, well, let me make you a little more angry. Being transgender in a Mormon church.
At the Great Salt Lake in Utah.
This can't be. They don't know.
Yep.
No.
This is Vice.
No.
Broadly, which is female Vice. Where I think they get Vice clit rings instead of regular rings.
Jesus
Aaron,
Christ,
who's a
how many
young Mormon,
nationalities is this
LGBTQ
thing?
activist who's getting ready to undergo top surgery later this week.
Hello everyone, it's Emmett, and today I am 6 months on T. Also, tomorrow is a big day. I am having surgery, and I am super excited. I've been waiting for this for so long.
So it's a female to male.
What kind of surgery? They just lop your tits off?
They take the tits off, yeah.
Hi, Emmett.
Hey.
Good to see you.
All right, a reporter shouldn't be walking around with a fucking My Little fucking pony haircut and a backpack.
Yeah.
This is so clown shoes. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Vice is a joke. And this bitch is a joke, too, because even, dude, that first opening part she did, she has no charisma. She's no nothing. Like, who the fuck, like, you know what I mean? And if you transitioning, I'll be the first. Shut up.
All right, so
Ew.
where are you taking us?
Yeah, I'm gonna take you around to show you the
Show you my well, fucking basement where I keep all the women.
around Orem.
By the way, I
Provo.
know a guy. This is hilarious. I know a dude who cross dresses, who's a Mormon, who's like a lunatic. I went to high school with him. His name's Eric. Eric's nuts. If you Google cross dressing Mormon, he's a fucking whack job. He's been doing this gimmick for like 5 years now, but he's just mentally ill, crazy person. He's got to be so mad right now. 5 years of that bullshit attention-seeking horse shit, Eric. And this guy came and stole your thunder. This multicultural-looking, swarthy-looking young lady took your gimmick, bro.
Where I usually drive around and I'll take you past my church building and also.
And by the way, I know I don't even mean I'm sorry. I don't even want to get off this topic. 'Cause
Okay.
I know we're going to cover this, but talking about this Eric guy, this goes more into the whole SJW political activist cross-dressing. I have to make a scene everywhere I go, kind of shit. This dude lost his kids. His wife took his kids and took off. He has decided that instead of improving his quality of life, his access to legal counsel, and getting his kids back, that he would just be a crazy person on the internet, and he never sees his kids anymore. All this shit is just
that him?
No,
that's another cross-dressing Mormon.
There's more. Jesus
more than
Christ,
one.
dude! These people came out of the woodwork and stole your gimmick. Yeah, it's not Eric though. So now you sell shirts that say Google cross-dressing Mormon. And now when you Google cross-dressing Mormon, it doesn't even pull you up. Yowza. But yeah, he would basically like, I don't know what happened to Eric, because Eric was a guy in high school who was really good looking. He was a Christian kid.
Got a lot of tail.
No, he wasn't. He's fucking dude. He was 6'3", icy blue eyes, blonde hair, good physique, and he played guitar. I went to church with him when we were like kids. And then he, in high school, we went to the same high school together by chance. And like, this guy just went off the fucking deep end. And he never sees his kids. He spurgs on it. But it's like this whole community is tied into this. Like, it's this mentally ill, here are the steps you can go through right now. And within 3 to 6 months, you could have visitation with your kids again.
Mm-hmm.
He'd rather fucking smoke pot on his Facebook and talk about cannabis and cross-dressing and SJW.
But he might be a canisexual.
Cool. You know what he should be? A guy who gets to see his kids.
Emmett left home in Nebraska at age 19 to spend a year and a half as
Made
a
it to the big metropolis of Salt Lake City, Utah. Why would you leave Nebraska and not just keep going?
missionary in Utah. When he completed his mission, Emmett returned home. But soon after,
Wait, this was
that was her?
That was her. Hold on.
to spend a year and a half as a sister missionary in Utah. When he completed his
She's cute there, though.
She's cute. She was, anyway, before the testosterone.
mission, Emmett returned home. But soon after, he
That
decided
was somebody's daughter, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's... Like, I come from a really dysfunctional, fucked up family anyway. Barely keeps in touch, so it didn't really... My family wouldn't make as much of a difference, but I try to think of things from, like, Royce's perspective. Like, I know his family very well. I'm very close to Royce's family. I can't imagine his parents having to go through, like I want to get a penis, and I'm gonna be a boy now. Like, they would just be like, oh, god damn it. Like, just... You know what I mean? At least just be a lesbo. You know what I mean? At least just be a gay guy. Something. But when you're like, hey, I'm going to get titties, it's like, oh, come on, man. I guarantee you his family would be like having meetings going, can you just be a gay guy? Like, I'm okay with that.
permanently and begin his transition into a man.
I don't know if this sounds crazy.
This is a fad.
Oh, fad. My bad. At least it's something else.
But
this is a fad. This is a fad you're ruining. You're actually ruining our fucking Don't say that this is my body, my choice, because if you decide to have kids, you're genetically altering your DNA. Like these fucking pregnant men and all this shit. What do you do? Like, what kind of fucking weird shit are we going to have to collectively deal with as a society someday because of your selfish horse shit?
Always knew that there was a reason that I served in Utah. I feel kind of like I'm supposed to be here to help broaden perspectives that people have on the LGBT community.
You mean, translation, force your viewpoints down in a church that wants nothing to do with you, and then the church stands up to their rules and what they believe, and then they kind of go, this doesn't fit our view of the church, thank you very much. And rightfully, in my opinion, kick you the fuck out is what they should do, because, again, that's like me going to an LGBTQ fucking parade and screaming at them while they're marching. You would kick me out. You would say, this is not in line with what we're doing. Okay, cool, that's fine.
And despite the fact that I am very I have lots of issues with the LGBT community and their agenda.
Mhm.
If Royce did that, I'd call him a fucking asshole.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I'd be like, well, why are you going into their thing on their day and
Exactly.
fucking with them, you know?
You're trying to force your point of view and your fucking your typical leftist ideology that because you have a mental disorder, and by the way, no one's stopping you from doing whatever you want, but now you want to push it down to everybody else. Why? Why don't you just let people alone, leave people alone?
Especially in Utah. A lot of people here are very conservative and closed-minded, and
Then why did you stay in conservative? Notice, conservative and close-minded, like that is synonymous. So fine, that's no problem. Conservative, fine. I'll say this. Leftists are fucking insane. Since we're closed-minded, you're fucking insane people who do insane things, and you justify it in the weirdest ways I've ever fucking seen. You won't eat fucking gluten, but you'll pump hormones into your child. Do you understand the fucking mentality of that? What do you think's gonna fuck up their life more? If they eat a pizza once in a while, or if you give them hormone blockers? Oh, enough.
I'm done with this whole fucking movement. And the only thing that makes me happy is knowing that, yes, it's a fad. It's not going to last. That's the beauty of, the one thing I love about being in America, man, we get over shit very quickly and we move on. And we're going to get out of this we're going to have a gay hangover. We're going to have an LGBT hangover within the next 5 years. This country is going to fucking start veering right again, and we're going to go, Jesus Christ, what were we doing?
Well, I'll tell you what we're doing. We're ending our show. It's time to shill, my friend.
It is time to shill.
It is that time.
Yeah, guys. So, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell a friend. Most importantly, that's the big.
Or tell an enemy.
Yeah, tell somebody. Get people listening to us. We enjoy, bringing the show to you. Also, yeah, rate us 5 stars if you could. Please send us money. Patreon.com/We're Not Sorry. PayPal.me/We're Not Sorry if you want to give a one-time donation. We will be back on Thursday. We're going to be joined by a more serious Senate candidate from California, Pat Little, going to be joining us on the program. And, what else?
If you like the music, see Thomas Howell, SEETHOMASHOWL. Buy his album on Bandcamp. Follow him on YouTube. We'll be back Thursday, guys.